Hi, everyone. Welcome to the M2M project. I'm your host, Sebastian MacLean, and today we are talking to a good friend of mine, Lenin Lavina. He has been an incredible help to me in the past with getting my scripts from something that just looks like it's on the page to something that is interesting to grab hold of in terms of the visual and the packaging. It can be pretty tough to get scripts read in Hollywood today or other independent film production situations. So when I came across Lenin and his talents, it was almost like a miracle to me. So that being said, now that I'm in this position with the M2M project, I wanted to talk to Lenin about his process, about how he tends to help in these areas, and a little bit more about what's behind all of that. So with that, Lenin, welcome to the M2M project. Thanks for joining me here again today, pal.
Hey, glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
The first question on my list was just maybe getting you to tell us a bit about yourself, what you specialize in, and what people in the film industry would typically need to kind of call on you for, if you will.
Right. Yes. Hi, I'm Lenin Lavina. Initially when we started working together, I think the first project we did was for posters, right? At that time, I was really pursuing doing posters and manipulation stuff for web and what you call this book covers. So yeah, I do compositing work. Then at that time when we met, I was also doing a little bit of graphic design and web design. But soon after that, I was focusing more on photography and retouching. But I was working with other photographers, working with models and um, doing magazine work. And then after that, I pursued product photography. Recently, I just got back into filmmaking, and right now I can offer um, 3D animations and doing previous storyboards using 3D. So, yeah, 3D animatics or even I'm also doing I'm taking a course with Pixar right now for storyboarding. So soon I'll be offering that with my service as well. But
Right.
yeah.
Well, and I would just interject too to say that the thing that really, in my experience, where we connected anyway, was I had these scripts. I was trying to tinker with Photoshop a little bit on my own, and over the years I've been able to figure out enough things to sometimes pull together something quick. If I have a great visual from a photograph, I can just sort of stick some words over top of it, maybe change a few filters. But I'm no technician. And then when I was talking about trying to craft a poster for a film that hadn't been shot and there were no stills for or anything, I was just amazed when I came to you and you came up with all these different poster concepts and ideas that could take maybe a shot of me or because I was pitching myself for one of the roles, or even just images of I guess what do they call it, stock photos that you find on, but
Stock photos, yeah.
you would assemble that and turn it into just the most amazing looking movie poster. And following a template, I would think that is sort of a Hollywood laid out kind of template, because there are a few different, as I understand it, templates for film posters. You can do some nice looking images, but they might not look like a film poster. But you really
Yeah.
seem to nail it when it came to that. And the same with the website stuff. You want to make a website that kind of has a cinematic vibe when you come onto it, and it looks like, oh, this film must be coming soon, or and you just really seem to have a knack for pulling together the imagery in a way that I find to be very rare. So that kind of leads into my next question, which is that because there are a lot of graphic artists out there, and they do great work, but you seem to have a real sense of that cinematic vibe when it's what we want to plug into. And I'm just wondering, what is it that inspires that awareness in you to kind of, is there something that you've kind of glommed onto in terms of a kind of a templating system, or is it just is there just a way that you look at something and you kind of know what's required to give it that cinematic feel?
Generally, for my process, yeah, because I love filmmaking as well, so I have a visual reference of all the films I also would want to watch. But what really helped with that project as well, for the ones we worked with, was uh, a really good detail already of what is needed. Like you provided the draft of the script and you gave out the description of what you wanted. So generally, and we knew what genre it was, so generally there's that look already for each genre, although we would want to make something more unique, but people are already attuned to what a genre looks. So
Mhm.
it also helps in drawing in the audience, but then we can wow them with a plot twist or whatever in the final film. But yeah, generally, because of all the information already provided, and then um, just referencing other great films as well. So that's generally the process I typically do, even not even in other projects as well. So having a good reference point is really important.
Yeah, well, and that reminds me, because I remember, and again, it was always so cool to see this. I would sometimes send an image that was a composite, and I say composite because I would, there was one poster that we had, you wound up doing of a hand kind of coming up to a house
Oh
for one of
yeah.
my scripts, but I think there was a very, bad kind of looking sort of, I don't know, zombie hand somewhere on a site. I stuck it there, and there was just a mishmash of images that didn't look like anything that you want to show anybody, but it just kind of gave reference points for what the things were and what the objects were. And then what came back was just something that looked like you'd put up in a movie theater. So I really I really see how those reference points, it's a wonderful way to collaborate, because even if you're not
Yeah.
inclined to be as visually creative with composite work on say Photoshop, when you give something like that to someone with your kind of skill set, it helps you really to kind of get to the place where, like you say, you get what they want, and then your creative sort of skill there just metamorphosizes that into something tangibly much better. Are there any other ways that when people are kind of trying to get an idea across that is helpful in that collaborative process for you, that kind of gets the package nailed, if as it were?
Um. Yeah. Major thing, communication. Sharing all info you can
Yeah.
about the project. Yeah, it's a big thing, and you know, uh, giving enough time as well for the creative to marinate on the idea, so that you can really bring out the potential of a reasonable amount of time to bring out the potential of the project.